So you've just lost a bunch of weight, but you're going on vacation or a work trip and you want to keep it off. Now what do? I've got you covered. What's going on? It's Pro Physique Coach Ben Berluti here in the office as usual and filming a quick little helpful video for you guys. If you find yourself in a situation where you've been tracking your calories very consistently, been doing cardio very consistently, lifting weights very consistently, and you lost a good amount of weight, made a lot of progress, that's something to celebrate. You should be really pumped about the progress you have made. Now, let's say you're going on vacation, maybe just an extended work trip, and you're like, okay, this is more so of a one-off situation. I want to maintain my progress. What in the heck do I do? Do I track my calories when I'm on vacation? No, do not break out the tracking app when you're on vacation, but set some parameters for yourself. Here's what I recommend doing. Have no more than 3 meals a day when you're on vacation. Why? Well, this will minimize snacking on, let's say, convenience store foods, which can be easy to put down, and now we're accumulating a lot of extra calories that we really don't need to. At those 3 meals, put an emphasis on lean protein, and then try to control at least one of those meals for the day. So let me give you some more examples. Meal 1, breakfast. If you're staying in a hotel, heck, let's say you have an Airbnb and you're gonna go out to a breakfast and lunch cafe, have something like an egg white and veggie omelet with some ham or something like that, okay? I could have a Western omelet or a Denver omelet minus the cheese. If I'm at a restaurant and they typically do 3 whole eggs, I can say, hey, can you substitute 1 or 2 of the whole eggs for some egg whites? That can lower calories from fat, give me some extra protein. You could pair that with a side of toast. Request that your condiments be served on the side, so butter on the side, that sort of thing, and then maybe another side of fruit. This is going to be a filling meal, low in fat, high in protein, modest in carbs, and it will fill you up. When I'm having untracked meals, I try to keep the calories from fats a bit lower because fat calories add up faster. There's 9 calories per gram of fat, 4 calories per gram of carb, 4 calories per gram of protein. So let's say I have that meal from a breakfast and lunch cafe. I'm doing things with the family, sightseeing. 5 hours later, we want to have lunch. So this is going to be your second meal. Again, I don't want you to track this meal, but I do want you to follow that parameters rule, okay? A protein-packed meal, a little bit lower in fat. Okay, so let's say I swing by a sandwich shop and they have a meatball marinara, eggplant parmesan. I'm Italian, that's where my mind goes when I think of a sandwich. Hey, maybe you're getting something like a turkey breast club. On that club, maybe mustard instead of mayo, bunch of veggies, hold off of the cheese, foot long, 6-inch, whatever. Instead of getting those, maybe you're getting something like a turkey club. Turkey deli meat is a lean protein source. So is ham, so is deli chicken breast, so is deli roast beef. Maybe you are going light on the cheese, maybe like 1 slice of cheese or something. No fatty dressing like a mayo, swap that for mustard. Let's say you're at Subway, boring example, but it gets the point across. Have a 6-inch or even a foot long. It's going to fill you up. Have a Diet Coke with that. It's going to keep you satiated, all right? This is going to hold you over to your dinner meal coming later. And at these meals, I should say, structure them so that you're having them every 4 to 6 hours to regulate your hunger levels. So let's say you're sightseeing and moving around a lot. I also recommend just focusing on a step goal when you're on vacation just to ensure you're active, and you usually will be because you're experiencing new things and whatnot. This promotes just activity on purpose. Dinner time, you're like, all right, we're gonna go to a nice restaurant with the family, and I want to have some filet mignon and a loaded baked potato. Can I do that? Absolutely. Because earlier in the day, you set some boundaries for yourself. You didn't overindulge early in the day. Now you can have a more highly caloric meal later on because we kept fats a little bit lower, carbs modest, protein high. And again, you're gonna have plenty of calories open and available for you. Those meals I laid out for you earlier in the day, max 1,000 calories, right? So you could have a relatively large meal later on and be good to go. With your meal, maybe have something like a Diet Coke, right? Have a side salad along with that, have some veggies. And then maybe you're holding off of dessert. If you're on vacation for a week, at your next dinner, instead of having the filet mignon again in the potato, maybe you're having something a little bit more boring, like grilled chicken, steamed veggies, a baked potato where you're requesting that there be no sugar added to it, that sort of thing. You just put the condiments on the side. And then you could have let's say a couple drinks with that. Maybe we're having 3, so we're getting our calories there. Or if you want to go out for ice cream later with the family, maybe you're getting a hot fudge sundae later, and that's going to be your indulgence of choice, if you will. But you're setting, again, this parameter for yourself. All right, so I'm being intentional before the day or the trip even starts. Okay, and like I said before, pick that indulgence. Want to have a nice dinner? Have a nice dinner. Want to have a nice dessert? Have that. Want a few drinks? You're going to have that for the day. Okay, we can't do all of them in one day because we don't want to be in a super calorie surplus on any given day. Now they'll start to compile, and now we start taking steps back. I don't want that for you. So just some little tips for you. And by the way, controlling one meal of your day is very doable. Let's say you wake up in the morning in your Airbnb, hotel, say there's a microwave in your hotel room or there's one in the lobby. You can bring or swing by a grocery store and pick up just a container of oats. It doesn't even have to be the big old one. It could be a little one. Get some of that. You could even bring with you in your luggage some protein powder. Okay, something is wrong here. I'll show you what's wrong. I'm a Core Nutritionals guy. Core ISO, this is the best protein powder on the market in my humble opinion. Great taste, digestive enzymes, and this is strictly, protein. 6-star, cheap protein. That looks like a Walmart brand, right? You are correct. However, if you're traveling, you can put things like oats or even protein powder in your luggage. Though I would recommend just put some protein powder in the Ziploc baggies so you don't have to take up a ton of room. But let's say you lost your protein powder, or let's say you bought a small tub, like a little 2-pound tub. The investment will be a little bit lower in the cheapo protein as opposed to the higher quality one. This is for survival for your trip, right? This is for your regular day-to-day when you're at home, right? So you can save a few bucks, get some protein powder. This is a great way to have protein on purpose. So you can take your oats, put it in a container, put some blueberries in your oats, stick it in a microwave safe container, guys. Boil it for a couple minutes with some water, stir in a scoop of protein powder after. If you had half a cup of oats, you're gonna have 27 grams of carbs, 5 protein, 2.5 grams of fat. That's 150 calories. Scoop of protein, minimal carbs and fat, mostly just protein, right? So now I'm having, 35 grams of protein or so in my protein oatmeal. By the way, you could stick some frozen berries in here, which you can bring with you in your carry-on on a flight, and a little mini, what's this thing called? A cooler. A cooler, guys. This is my awesome ProVisi cooler that I use, and I brought it with me on trips. Put it in your carry-on. If food is frozen, TSA does not care. So you can get some frozen berries that can act as an ice pack. You can also freeze if you want to, get a little creative. Some like pre-cooked chicken breast or lean ground meat or something. Put in some Ziploc baggies in here so it'll all keep itself cool. Then when you get to your destination, pop it in the fridge. You can make one meal, thaw it out, take it out and let it thaw while you're on the flight, whatever you want to do. Get a little creative. Just a little preparation goes a long way. So those are some tips for you. So that way you can control one meal of your day, right? And then you don't have to go out for breakfast, and then you can go for lunch, dinner, be good to go. So let me get these props out of the way. That's it, guys. A few practical tips for your next trip. You can indeed maintain your progress on your next vacation. And when you return from your vacation, resume your plan. Don't try to go on very low calories for the same amount of time you're on the trip or do all the cardio or something. Just return to your plan, because if it worked before, it will work again. Interested in one-on-one coaching? I'll be more than happy to work with you. In fact, I'll be happy to set up a no-cost consultation call whenever convenient for you. And the way to do this so that we can discuss your goals is send me an email at ben@prophysique.com, and we can set that up whenever is best for you. Take care.